WHD2 Bridgeport, ESPN Radio. This is the Sports Show with Cody Mack.
Yeah, there it is. Okay. Sorry. Computer froze, and I panicked because that's where all those other guys' voices are. We're good now. We're good. Oh, man, it's finally here. My final hour of the week. It's Friday. It's the Sports Show with Cody Mack. ESPN Radio, 97.7 and 100.1. That's where you can find me, amongst many other places right now. If you're feeling so inclined to do so, then why the hell not? So much to get to today. All of it. Too much to get to. But again, I'll make time for whatever you want to talk about. 315-437-7644. If you're feeling frisky to call in to Syracuse and talk to the either the gorgeous Jordan or gorgeous Mike, either one. Both equally gorgeous. So much to get to today. I don't even know where to start. But what a week here. I know there is the Syracuse game tomorrow, Syracuse, Boston College. But again, it's a nice little break from all that. You guys know that already. You've probably heard everything broken down into a fine powdered dust. I will retread some stuff that, fortunately for me, was left up on the computer here, and I see some things that I will play because they look interesting and I want to hear them. So, well, we'll get to that later, though, because I want to get to the foosball game from last night. Wow! We talked about it a little bit yesterday, and we talked about the potential for what a game it could be, and boy, howdy, hot diggity dog, as the kids say, it was. It was something. It was really, really good, man, and it progressively got better, which makes it really hard when your alarm goes off at 4:30 a.m. for a game to still be going at 11. But it was worth it, man. It was worth it. We'll play all sorts of stuff from it. I got a lot of cool things here. We got the last 2 minutes here coming up, which we will get to in just a sec. All of Jamar Chase's catches, because he is quite possibly the best wide receiver in the league right now. So that's fun to do. But it started out last night, Chase Brown getting a nice touchdown run for the Bengals to get on the board. And that was good because Khalil Herbert, who they just traded for, ended up fumbling. He picked it back up, and it was only good for a little bit because we'll hear later on, Chase Brown kind of cost the Bengals a little bit when he fumbles later in the game. Nelson Aguilar and the Ravens gets it on the board to tie it 7-7. A touchdown pass from Lamar Jackson, one of his, four? Yeah, one of his 4 touchdowns. Joe Burrow also had 4 touchdowns as he throws one to Tanner Hudson to make it 14-7. And then Jamar Chase and the superstars get going. He scores and Derrick Henry scores to make it 21-14, Cincinnati over Baltimore. Then we head into the fourth quarter where it gets wacky and wild, where the Ravens score 2 times. 2 times to now take the lead. And then we're going to pick it up here as it's about tied, as Jamar Chase has now tied the game himself with let me see here. Oh, no big deal. Just a 70-yard touchdown pass. No big deal. And then Lamar Jackson, under 2 minutes. Yeah, all that happened in the game, and there's still more to come. It's tied 28-28.
They don't have to worry about that after the incompletion.
Not at all. 3rd and goal. Jackson running around. Little jump pass, touchdown. Bateman. Rashad Bateman. And they have the lead again.
That was like a jump shot. I mean, he has shown an ability tonight to work from the pocket. He's shown the ability to get outside. He's shown a lot of velocity when he's had to put something on it. He's also shown a lot of these touch passes that he's thrown to these receivers, to Mark Andrews. That time, it was, like I said, wait till you see this follow-through. It was like a Steph Curry jump shot for a touchdown.
That's 4 touchdown passes for Jackson tonight. The Ravens have scored touchdowns on 4 straight drives, and Tucker's extra point is good.
You know, they had 71 yards in the first half passing, 219 and 3 touchdowns in the second half.
And yeah, they turned it around, man. Turned it on late. Very, very weird thing about this game in how the simulation works. We game on the K-Rock morning show about 9 a.m. And what we do is we try to keep the games close to, or exactly close to what they are. Well, it's Ravens and the Bengals, but I'll be the Browns. No, we play the game of, what's going on. And we did Ravens, Bengals, and I was the Ravens, and I got down to the Bengals about 30-7 early, and then turned it on in the fourth quarter and won in an almost similar score, which is extremely weird, as now the Ravens have taken the lead with under 2 minutes left, and it's absolutely insane. Rashad Bateman, they drive 70 yards to take the lead after, it was 21-7, and then it was 21-14, and then a 21-20. It's 21-28 after they get a 2-point conversion, 28-28, 28-35. It's over, right? Well, not quite yet, because Joe Burrow, dude, is a baller. Not much time left. Going to drive him down the field.
They don't need a ton of time. Right now, Joe Burrow is probably not worried about time. He's worried about trying to get the ball into the end zone. And then it's decision time, if they do, for Zach Taylor.
Chase lined up to the right side. Looks that way. Throws that way. Caught! Chase. What a night. Touchdown. 38. Well, this is as good as their first meeting this year. It turned out to be. So now, if you're Cincinnati, what do you want to go for 2? You want to go for 1? What do you want to do here?
What's crazy is that how many times are we going to see that in the last couple weeks? Do they go for 2 to take the lead?
All night.
Yep, they're going to go for it.
Yep.
They're going for the lead. I don't want to say the win yet. Because the Ravens are going to get the ball back, and they've got 2 timeouts.
Well, he's got a matchup already. You can see that he wants right there. That's Stevens against Chase. Yep, he's got him all isolated. Take it. That's what you want.
For the win. For the win.
Oh, that's interesting.
Zach Taylor came all the way down.
They called the timeout. Oh, my God. The drama. Oh, my God. But no, they went right back to it.
The matchup he wanted.
Yep.
They're going to go right back to it.
It's a completely different formation.
Totally.
The question now, no, there you go. There goes Chase. He got it again. He's got that same matchup.
Same thing. Yosevich to the right side. Chase to the left side. To the right side he goes. Incomplete at the goal line. Washington breaking it up.
Doesn't get it. Ravens win. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Also, a little unbelievable in this game was, I'm sure you've seen the memes by now, as the Ravens win by 1 over the Bengals. The blatant missed calls by the refs. How many times are we going to be like, the refs can't get any worse than they already are? And then there was that one play where not 1 hands to the face, not 2 hands to the face, but 3 hands to the face, with Joe Burrow getting the hands to the face on him, that the refs are looking right at it. They're looking right at it. So, you don't want to blame the refs, but when it's so blatant and it costs teams, you got to blame the refs a little bit. But does Joe Burrow blame the refs?
Yeah, I'll have to see it on tape. I didn't wasn't able to see where it went on the field, but I'll have to see it on tape.
Did you see Gesicki get held on that? Did you get hit in the face on that? I mean, they could have called a couple of things there, it looked like.
Yeah, you're not getting those calls in that situation for the most part.
I feel like there were a couple maybe potentially late hits on United that didn't get flagged. Do you feel like that's frustrating when that type of stuff doesn't happen with what you've done in this league at this point?
You know, I feel like I've never really gotten those calls, so I don't really expect that.
Oof. Ouch. Yeah, he does blame the refs.
I felt like there were a couple that were close, but again, I don't expect those.
Oh, he says the refs hating on Mr. Joe Cool. And when it's, again, that blatant, can you blame him? You know what I mean? And now, again, all this going for two stuff the last couple weeks been pretty interesting. And I mean, would Joe Burrow have gone for two there?
We got to find a way to close out these games. You know, we had our opportunity. We got down there, went for two.
I got to stop right now because I lied to you. Would Zach Taylor, the coach, would he still go for two, you know, knowing the outcome? You know, what? Going for two, bud? And he did.
We got to find a way to close out these games. You know, we had our opportunity. We got down there, went for two, and just didn't work out for us. But this team's going to continue to put us in good positions, and there's going to be a point in the season where that turns, and we'll respond the right way from this game. We got a one-game season next week against the Chargers before the bye, and so we'll get our bodies right and get ready to go fight them.
When a team doesn't finish, is that X's and O's or how much?
I mean, finishing, there's a lot of great plays by both teams there at the end of the game, and I know that's the easy answer, but we just got to figure out a way to make that last play to win the game.
Oh, again, because when you go for two and you need to score two to take the lead, you have to get it, because if you don't, you will be down by one. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But some other things kind of costing the Bengals, as well as we talked about Khalil Herbert fumbling, newly acquired from the Bears. Chase Brown of the Bengals coming on strong this year, almost kind of out of nowhere, but having himself quite the year. His fumble late in the game kind of made it so the Ravens could have that turnaround, and it didn't go well, but he handled it well.
One thing, can't turn over the ball. Can't get momentum, so, I mean, losing by 1 point hurts, but, regroup, come back better next week.
To be sitting at 4-6, knowing the expectations of this season, how do you stomach that? Like that home tonight, Chase?
Just get back to work, focus on what we can get better on, and that's it. Can't dwell on a loss like this, so gotta keep moving on and get better.
How hard is it for this team to have two games that you could have beat the Ravens and then you come up just a few points short?
Yeah, it hurts us. Division opponent. We need those wins, so we'll see them again at some point. Everybody in this locker room believes that, so just put our heads down, keep on working, and until we see them again.
You come up with the game-winning plays earlier this season in New York to have to deal with that fumble here in the second half. How tough will that one to be put to bed, Chase?
Yeah, you can imagine, but there's so much work that goes into these weeks. Putting a lot of work protecting the ball. It's a big emphasis for us, so fumbling is unacceptable.
He sounds so sad. Let's hear his fumble.
Brown again, fighting his way. Ball is out. Ball is out. Ravens think they have it. They do. Knocked away by Marlon Humphrey.
And you get the ball knocked out and you fumble. It definitely kind of turned that game around a little bit there. That is absolutely for sure, because you don't want to give Lamar Jackson, possible MVP, time to make those plays. And Lamar Jackson, yes, you had a good game. 290 yards, 4 touchdowns. Joe Burrow, 428 yards, 4 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, you had a great game. He was kind of sad after the game, but, we'll see in a second. He had himself one hell of a game. Jamar Chase of the Bengals.
It was overall a good day by myself, but I wish we could have had the team win.
reflective why you feel like this team lacks a killer instinct? I mean, a couple of these games you guys have had a lead or let it really slip through your fingers. Why do you think the team is lacking that this year?
I don't think we have a lack of killer instinct. I just don't think we finish in the right way at the end.
Boy.
I feel like the offense had a chance to put it away. We didn't. Cam also had a chance to put the game away.
I like how they're trying to watch their words.
We let that slip short.
Do you feel like the ball should have gone to you on that final play to end the game?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I always feel like that as a receiver. You should want the ball, yes, but, sometimes Joe don't see it.
Yeah, the ball should. Because, again, he had 11 catches, 264 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Goes to Chase, who caught 7 balls last week. 3rd and 9. Burrow stepping forward and throwing, and it's caught. And to the 30-yard line goes Jamar Chase.
And what's crazy is that with 11 catches, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a loss.
Brown makes a nice block, and Chase makes the catch along the sideline. 2 minutes to the half from the 49-yard line, first down. Burrow fires over the middle and finds his man. He's got Jamar Chase for a gain of 14 and averaging about 4.5 yards per play. Burrow fires, caught, Chase. They try to chase him down, and they cannot. Touchdown.
Special is he when he gets out in the open field.
And there's still another 2 minutes of that. Right? Unreal, man. He is an absolute Madden all-star. I'll tell you that much right now. But they lost. They lost the game because, again, Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. Basically front runner for MVP as far as I'm concerned. 290, 4 tutties.
Lamar wide open. Nelson Aguilar touchdown. Baltimore.
That's how we got it going. Touchdown to Aguilar.
I mean, Jackson starts out like he's going to run it. You got to think about that.
It's exactly what it is.
Backing up, backing away, under pressure, and down the sideline he goes. Lamar Jackson, can he stay in bounds all the way? He stopped inside the 1.
That was a hell of a run. That was a Madden run.
You better get him down. B.J. Hill, with his little stunt move, has a chance to keep contained. Once he got out, I think maybe some of the defenders thought he was out of bounds, but look at him, shaking people, takes it almost, good blocks downfield, the big center, Linderbaum. Look at Hill giving you an effort.
And then they just kept scoring all the way to a 35-34 victory. I've said it like 4 or 5 times now. Game of the year? Possibly. All right, how about this? Let's come back and check out what other games we got going on this Sunday. Maybe a little Buffalo Bills action. There would definitely be Buffalo Bills action. Sports Show, ESPN Radio, 97.7 and 100.1.
Let's go! Game day radio coverage of Syracuse football is brought to you by Burdick.
Yeah, the person of the shabba haba shabba haba. A shabba haba haba.
Hey there, Q Sports Talk. He's okay with the refs? No, they did a terrible job. He also said he didn't want to see certain changes because he doesn't like change. I just don't like change. Very hot take, Paul. The refs suck. There's nothing fine. They're fine because the Steelers haven't lost by the hands of the refs, I bet. Well, now it's a little asinine, if you ask me. How was my shoe untied from doing nothing? Shoelaces suck. Shoelaces are mid. What are you laughing at? My username is Big Poppy. You like the Red Sox. You're irrelevant. I don't even care. Let's see here. Okay. Which I call you Big Pop because you do good sex in the bedroom, I bet. Gotcha. Now that makes sense. You do sex to the ladies. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Well, Big Poppy, welcome. I don't know if we've met yet, but thank you for tuning in.
This is the Sports Show with Cody Mack.
That's right. You're getting closer to the weekend. Right here on the Sports Show. ESPN Radio 97.7 and 100.1. You guys doing? Getting ready for a weekend action? Holla up on the telephone, feel like. Scoocha May. 315-437-7644. Talk about things, yeah. SU game tomorrow. Syracuse, BC. All your coverage will be coming up next with 315 with Brian Higgins. And then I'm sure they got that poor bastard working from, I don't know. I don't think he leaves. If the game's at noon, he'll be here so early tomorrow. And then, let me look. Yep, they have a cot for him over there. So Brian Higgins will be here talking SU until from about 4-ish today up till about 7 or 9 o'clock tomorrow. So stick around for that. We'll get all that stuff for you. But we're here. We're hanging out. And let's hop right into some more games for this week because we've got a Bills-Colts matchup, which I'm not really sure. I'm thinking the Bills should be all right with the Colts. Joe Flacco wasn't looking like the new old Joe Flacco that we know. He looked like the old. He didn't look good last week. So I don't know how I think it's going to go with this Bills-Colts matchup. I kind of just assume that the Bills should just give them to business, but you never know. That's why they play the game, because the Bills do have two big injuries. Keon Coleman out for the Bills, wrist injury, and Cooper limited in practice, so we'll see if they got their two top targets out. That doesn't look good, but they still have this man.
I think your story is one that a lot of Colts fans are actually looking at, because we have a young stud quarterback in Anthony Richardson who maybe didn't have his greatest start whenever it comes to throwing, and then there was the tap-out situation, but he's very young. And there isn't, a give up on him, but there's a lot of conversation about, can he become a great quarterback in this league? A lot of people compare how you started and where you are now to his story and what he could become with how big and athletic he is. For you, I'd like to say, this year you're having your best year, by the way. Congratulations. It's like, what is the differences that are being made in the offseason? Is it more reps? What has it been for you think?
Well, by the way, I'm talking to Josh Allen. I assumed he'd said it before the first 40 seconds.
It's just the rep count. I think you go back to my college reps and even high school reps of just throwing the football and feeling and understanding the control of the football. I think as I've gotten older and in the offseason, I've thrown more. I've figured out really, how to drive it, how to layer it, how to launch it. And it's still something I'm working on each and every offseason, but the more reps that you get, in the NFL especially, things are going to start to slow down. And, I'm a big fan of AR. I think, honestly, that throw early in the season that he had to, I think it was Pierce, I think that's one of the best throws I've ever seen in my entire life of any level. I think that throw showcases a lot of his ability and potential, and hopefully he can learn and grow from this situation.
Amen. He's got Joe Flacco there. We heard you talk about Joe Flacco. There is an opportunity to, watch one of the guys who's won a Super Bowl. I think you even mentioned. How would you handle that if you were in that situation, looking back, just hindsight?
Well, I think going back to my rookie year, bringing in a guy like Derek Anderson, who didn't win a Super Bowl, but Derek's my guy. Got to learn a lot from him, the way that he handled the little things, right? Just how to handle walkthrough, how to handle meetings, how to talk to certain guys in the building. And then when he went out and practiced, he practiced hard, and he demanded a lot from the receivers and tight ends. So again, just being able to learn and grow from under somebody that knew what they were doing. They were in the league for a long time, and hopefully that he can take a lot of things away from Joe.
This Anthony Richardson story is weird. How many people are like, no, I think he'll be all right? And he's one of the few quarterbacks I've seen that have gotten benched due to whatever reason, and everyone's like, no, but he's so nice. Well, shouldn't have sucked.
We've heard players talk about, especially quarterbacks. We know D-Hop now with Patrick Mahomes. He steps in, boom, he already makes an impact. And they talk about Mahomes is saying, like, he can read, like, the body language of these receivers, makes it easier on quarterbacks. Like, what is that? Like, can you explain what that might be? And you obviously spread the ball around. Your team's dealing with some guys banged up. Some of your weapons, you can get it to anybody. What is that? Like, what does it feel like when you're very confident in what your receiver's going to run? He's not going to hang you out to dry.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful feeling. And, again, sometimes it takes longer for you to get on page with certain guys. Sometimes it clicks right away. And typically when you get veterans like a D-Hop or like an Amari Cooper here, you don't need as much time because they understand the ins and outs of the game and their position, and they've worked so hard at it. So, when Hop came here, obviously week one, got the touchdown. I think 4 for 60 is what he went, and that was on 3 days of practice. And we're hoping to get him back here sometime soon, and maybe it's this week. But when you're on the same page as your weapons, you don't really need to see where they're at. You can trust where they're going to be. And
so, I mean, you'll have to find some new old weapons to play with this week, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. So, ooh, boy. A little bit more Bills-Colts talk when we come back in just a couple minutes on the Sports Show with Cody Mack, ESPN Radio 97.7 and 100.1. Oh, nice. Well, thanks, Bobby. Appreciate you hanging out now. Welcome to now. Oh, God. What a long week. Good God almighty. Is it raining yet out there? Oh, no. It's just real friggin' weird out. All right. Oh, God. Making a mess in here. My mom said if you keep making a mess, you can't hang out with us and play anymore. Oh, God, making a mess. Oh, God, making a mess. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Just water. Just water. Stay there and drip dry on the floor for a little while, blah. Blah. Minnesota Dan, you get it. No, yeah. No, see, we actually are busy around here. Yeah, I was going to say, Paulie is not exactly at the top of the list for busy. It'll make you think it, though. I'm so busy. We're Galaxy Media Partners busy, though. Oh, Brian definitely is busier than Paulie. Brian's busier than Paulie. Jordan's busier than Paulie. Mike's might even be busier. Poor Paulie. I have responsibilities. Who else is going to pick the artist of the day and then awkwardly just kill it real quick? It's fun to pick on Paulie. Find the bank.
This is the Sports Show with Cody Mack.
Because weekends were made for fun. Oh, yeah. Oh, little Debbie Deb on a Friday. That's how you know that it's the weekend, you know. And when Debbie Deb shows up, that means it's the weekend. On the Sports Show with Cody Mack, ESPN Radio 97.7 and 100.1 QSportsTalk.com. That's this little computer box thing with my face in it, also known as Twitch. But you go to that website and it takes you right to us. That's where you watch all the stuff on here. This channel. 315-437-7644 if you want to holler at me. You can. I don't feel like doing it. I'm not going to be mad at you if you don't, but, you know, no big deal. Yeah, big weekend here. We got Syracuse, Boston College tomorrow at noon. Other huge college football games going on. There's a bunch of college basketball maybe we can run down. But NFL rules the day, my friends, as Bills Colts is also this weekend, and it's Sunday, and we were talking, you know, it's going to be Joe Flacco versus Josh Allen. A couple guys out for the Bills. Keon Coleman out. Rookie sensation, and Amari Cooper will also be probably limited as well. Every week, we on the K-Rock Morning Show talked to Chris Brown, voice of the Buffalo Bills, and he had this to say was it today? Or was it yesterday? It was yesterday we talked to him. I don't know. Doesn't matter either way.
Joining us for his weekly call, the voice of your Buffalo Bills, Chris Brown. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, guys.
Chris, I can eat crow when I need to eat crow. And I'm going to bring you into some crow eating I had to do earlier this week. 3:30 on Sunday, I text my partner here, Cody, calling it now. If the Bills don't do something about the Tyler Bass situation, they're going to relive, and I hate to say this out loud, they're going to relive the Norwood situation in a big, important game. That was coming after. I know. That was coming after. He had missed one, and then he just donked one, and I said, they got to figure this guy out.
I agreed.
Because something's going to happen in a big game.
Yep.
And then minutes later, he kicks I believe it was a franchise record, right, at 61 yards?
Yep.
I don't know what side of the Tyler Bass drama to be on now, because it was almost like he was telling us all to shut up when he kicked that kick.
Yeah. So, the extra points were a little hairy. There's no question about it. But he also hit a 40 and a 49-yarder prior to the 61-yarder at the end of the game. I think a lot of people are hoping that a kick of that magnitude, a career best, a franchise record kick, will kind of boost him with the confidence that he needs going forward. And if you watch the post-game locker room video on BuffaloBills.com, where he was given a game ball and everything, you could tell how much it was weighing on him. And I think this kick almost kind of provides a line of demarcation, hopefully, between the struggles that have plagued him since late last season to now. And hopefully that chapter is closed and he can get back to being the reliable kicker that he was earlier in his career, because I think I've said this before, and even Sean McDermott has said it, when he is on, he is a weapon for this football team, and last Sunday's kick is proof of that.
Yeah, I was knocking on wood, Bills fans, while he was saying hopefully. I was knocking on wood for everybody, don't worry.
Witness.
So, I guess this is news that comes out, yesterday about Keon Coleman potentially being out. I saw Coach McDermott said he wants to practice, he wants to be in there, but he's just not available right now. Is this a short-term thing? Is it going to be a multi-week thing? What do you know?
What happened?
Yeah, so basically the way Coach put it was, he said he was asked, is this a day-to-day injury? And he said, well, we're still trying to determine that because Keon wants to practice, but at the same time, he's not ruling him out for Sunday, but then in the same breath said, this is an injury that could last beyond this week. So it sounds like he's somewhere between a day-to-day injury and a week-to-week injury. It falls somewhere in between. I think they're doing further testing to get better clarity on that. My guess is they took x-rays after the game. Nothing was conclusive on his arm. And then they were doing MRI tests early in the week. I'm guessing those weren't conclusive enough. So further examination. I don't know what's going to happen there. He didn't practice yesterday. Today will be more telling because yesterday was just a walkthrough, but they have to give an estimation of what practice would be. They said if it was a regular practice, he wouldn't have done anything. I guess on the better side of the injury news, Christian Benford was estimated as a full participant, so he's certainly trending towards being back in the lineup.
So we're heading out to Indianapolis on Sunday. Bills at Colts, 1 o'clock game, and it seems like we're going to be preparing for Joe Flacco now as they've swapped him in. What does that change for the team preparation-wise?
Well, it has changed the running game for Indianapolis because now you no longer have to worry about a dual threat in their run game. The read option game with Anthony Richardson is out the window because Joe Flacco isn't going to be running anywhere. You know exactly where he's going to be on every snap. It's going to be in the pocket if he's passing. But there is, more consistency, better completion percentage with the veteran quarterback in the lineup. Richardson was basically yanked largely because he tapped himself out of the game and said he was tired, which you just can't do that.
I try it regularly in here, Chris. I try to say, I'm tired. I'm tapping out. They won't let me go home.
Nope.
Yeah, I have never seen that before. That was stunning to me. But he's also only completing 44% of his passes. It's hard for an offense to be functional with that low a degree of efficiency on offense. And so they're going with, Flacco now. They're 4-5. Every one of their games have been one-score games. All 9 of them. So I think they feel, look, we're not out of it yet, and maybe the 4 or 5 plays we need to turn those one-score losses into one-score wins, Flacco can give us, and maybe we can make a run down the stretch. That's kind of their MO right now.
Bills at Colts, 1 o'clock on Sunday. You'll hear Chris call that game. Safe travels, Chris. We'll talk next week, bud.
All right, yeah, thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. You heard me with my astute question asking there with Keon Coleman. Yeah, what happened? I'm terrible. Thank you, K-Rock Josh, for always handling the interviews because I suck butt at it, not in the fun way. A little bit more quick NFL news and notes before we go over this week's games. Trevor Lawrence of the Jags, more than likely out. Mac Jones, formerly the Patriots, currently still sucking, I would imagine. Probably going to play for the Jags, so they'll probably lose this week. Christian McCaffrey making his return, although I think he ends up going out again. He's been out this long with a hamstring, and he's going to just pop right back in there. I don't know. It's been taking him too long. We'll see what happens. And then Nico Collins, wide receiver of the Texans, he is trending to play, as is Titans' Will Levis, which is big for the Texans, as we'll see, as they are quite possibly a game of the week here. Not a game of the week is the Giants-Panthers. Woof. Oh, my God. I don't even talk about it. Patriots and the Bears as well, and also not a game of the week. When we talk to Bills, Colts, that looks to be like it should be an easy game for the Bills, but I don't want to say that. I will also knock on wood. Broncos and Chiefs. Broncos did not look good against the Ravens. Chiefs are more of a kind of put-together team, so I expect kind of similar game there for the poor Broncos and Bo Nix. When your first name is 2 letters, you better be real good at football here. What's that? I missed that game. Falcons Saints. I might have missed it, but none of you will. Woof. And then, all right, here we go. Games of the week. My number 3 game of the week. Did I have other games of the week? Oh, no, we're going. All right, number 5 game of the week. Sorry. I think Dolphins-Rams will probably be a pretty decent game. It's Monday Night Football. That's why it's the number 5 game of the week. I'm not sure how good it'll be, but there'll be points scored, and it's Monday Night Football, so that it will at least be fun, right? We'll at least enjoy that. What's this random piece of paper say? Well, the gloves Noah Brown wore and that Hail Mary pass from Jaden Daniels is going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Okay, cool. Didn't see that before. Don't care now. Sorry. I get distracted easy like a squirrel. Where was the number 4 game? Let's see here. Because we got number 3. Number 3... I was hoping I would be able to vamp while I looked for number 4 here. Oh, number 4, Eagles-Cowboys. I think the Eagles stomp them, but it's the Cowboys, so I'm not going to not say a Cowboys game could be a game of the week, but whatever the line is, Eagles by 7, it'll be more. Number 3, 49ers-Buccaneers. While both teams, 49ers at 500, Buccaneers a game under. Buccaneers have proved that they can hang with the big boys, and the 49ers getting Christian McCaffrey back for how long? I don't know. Brock Purdy been having some pretty good games, so I think this will end up being just a fun game. Oh, I got a caller. Cool. Number 2, Steelers-Commanders, which we will get back to in just a few minutes here. And then the number 1 game of the week, I would imagine, is the Lions and the Texans. For the Texans, Nico Collins might be back. It'll be a Sunday night football game. They both score a bunch of points, but the Lions are so good. They've proven over and over again that they can win. So I think that'll probably be the game of the week. Oh, never mind. Caller went away. Fine. Then how about this? Then we will go right into again, the Steelers-Commanders. I went back and forth on what could be the game of the week. Steelers-Commanders, 1 o'clock on Sunday. How would this not get flexed somewhere else? I know you can't really flex out Lions-Texans, but I don't know. Put it on right now. Jaden Daniels and the Russell Wilsons, 6-2 versus 7-2. This should be a really, really good game. Maybe a Super Bowl preview?
The answer to this particular question is the Steelers. I will remind you that in terms of scoring defense, they're number 2 in the league. In terms of rushing defense, they're 4th in the league. Total defense, they're 9th in the league. I'll take that into account. I'll take into account the fact that since Russell Wilson has arrived as their quarterback, they've gone from averaging 20 a game to 31 points a game. A little, what is it, like 283 yards. Now it's over 417 yards per game. I'd also like to add, they are, since this cat Warren returned to the lineup, that dual running back situation, Steelers averaging 166 yards rushing. That's what they're doing. So I'm looking at all of those different things, and I'm saying, okay, so let me get this straight. Your passing game is improved because Russell Wilson's behind center. Your running game is improved because Warren has arrived, okay? Your defense is still there, and T.J. Watt, who the hell did I just say? I said T.J. Watt, damn it. That's who the hell I said, okay? So I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm saying I'm very impressed. Jaden Daniels is that dude. He's something special. Yeah. I'm very impressed with the job Quinn has done. Yeah. I'm very impressed with the job Kingsbury has done as the offensive coordinator. I understand it. But the Commanders have overachieved, and they deserve an abundance of credit for that. We looked at the Steelers, and we knew their defense was elite. Yeah. We just said, what's up with their offense? And since Russell Wilson has been in the lineup, they've answered the call because your running game and your passing game has improved along with your total points. I'm like, yo, that's who I'm rolling with.
Yo, I'm picking Washington. Oh, yeah. Let's do my sports picks before we head on into a commercial break and then come back with the craziest parlay I've ever put together. And I convinced good old Jordan out there that it is the greatest parlay ever put together. It'll win you so much money. But again, you heard me say it right there. I think the Commanders win that game. Giants, Carolina, and Germany. Can I say nobody? Giants, I think, win because someone has to win it. Patriots, Chicago, that game, I don't really know. Caleb Williams at home, he maybe turns it around a little bit over the Drake May-led New England Patriots. I'll take the Bears. Buffalo Colts, I'm taking the Bills. Denver, Kansas City, not picking against Kansas City. Atlanta, New Orleans, definitely taking Atlanta. San Francisco, Tampa Bay, I'm taking the 49ers. I wavered on that one. Minnesota, Jacksonville, definitely taking Minnesota. Tennessee and the Chargers. Philadelphia and Dallas. That's where I'm taking the upset special of the week. The Cowboys beat the Eagles. Cooper Rush, you think the Eagles are going to soar into Jerry's world and beat the Cowboys? The Giants can't do it, and the Eagles won't do it. So there's my upset special of the week. Cowboys over the Eagles. Arizona and the Jets. Again, who cares? But I'm taking Arizona because I'm not picking Aaron Rodgers anymore. And Detroit. Houston, definitely Detroit, even though it is a home game for the Houston Texans. Maybe get Nico Collins back. Monday Night Football, Miami and the Rams. I take the Rams. Picks have been pretty decent so far. I'm something like 21 and 12 or 10 or I don't know how numbers work, which I will prove when we come back by giving you a chance to get in on the craziest parlay of all time. Oh, we almost are closer and closer to the weekend, guys. Oh, buddies. We've done it. Wow, there's no nice days next week. Yikes. Phone in my pocket here. There we go. Guys, I'll make sure I'll take a picture and put it on the social media so you guys can get in on the parlay of the most ridiculous parlay of all time. Okay? Because I know I'm going to say it too fast because I have a very good habit of saying things wicked quick. Missed. All right, guys. Last one. Oh, God. Woo! Okie-dokie. We're back. ESPN Radio 97.7 and 100.1 with the craziest parlay you have ever heard. Where are you going to hear it, Mr. Man?
This is the Sports Show with Cody Mack.
All right, so, okay, ready. We got to do this quick. So, I'll put this up on our social medias, and I'll send it to Jordan so he could do it. You want to win a couple $1,000s because this thing comes out to about $230,000 to 1. So you want Saquon Barkley to have 2+ touchdowns. Okay, that's how it's going to start. Saquon Barkley 2+ touchdowns. That's plus 330. Kyler Murray 250+ passing yards. That's 360 plus 360. All right. So Saquon 2+ touchdowns against the Cowboys. Kyler Murray 250 yards or plus passing against the Jets. I know, good defense, but still, Jets suck. Now we get crazy. Carolina defense at any time scoring a touchdown. You telling me Danny Dimes ain't gonna fumble or throw a pick six? Plus 900. This one's a little rough. The Bills or the Colts, either team to have a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown in each half. That's a little crazier. Again, either the Bills or the Colts have to have a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown in each half. That one is plus 1,100. So you want to win about $2,000. There's your craziest parlay you've ever heard, right? Absolutely insane. I'll put it on the social medias. But, I mean, why not? New York sportsbooks made $2.3 billion in October. So we're doing something right, or we're doing something wrong? I don't know. Oh, boy. SU Boston College tomorrow at noon. All the info and details and coverage you need basically starts right now till forever times. With the 315 with Brian Higgins. This has been The Sports Show with Cody Mack. We sportsed around all week on ESPN Radio 97.7 and 100.1.